Ah, the triumphant hero returns. Thangrid told us the news upon his arrival. He's presently in the Solar, giving us a full report to Lady Minfilia. You should join them at once. Lady Minfilia is most eager to see you. Yeah, I did it. Completed. My late arrival nearly cost Zayo his life. I wasn't there when the Almaja took him prisoner, and I wasn't there when they served him to Ifrit. Yes, by some miracle he survived, but that does not excuse the fact that he should never have had to face such dangers alone. I failed him utterly, just as I am failing you all. Why is he so sad, my dude? What's done is done, Thancred. I don't know how I say his name. You can ill blame yourself for every... And then you show up. Zayo, it's so good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I had just finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. She looks like Riki from FF10. Thancred has told me everything. You have done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I had no cause to fear, and now we can put pay to our long investigation. As you suspected, the Almaja undertook both the robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their primal Ifrit. Nor is this tale limited to Udalali. Similar incidents have been rife in both Limsa Lominsa and Gridania of late. I dare say you've been curious as to how these... Ooh, hold on. I dare say you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the primals. Permit me to explain. My god. Having manifested in the physical realm, primals must consume ether if they are to maintain their presence here, and the stronger they become, the more ether they require. Now ether exists throughout creation. It flows through all life and it permeates the very air that we breathe. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of ether, crystals. It is for this reason that incident involving crystals can often be traced back to a primal. Which leaves us with the why of the abductions. To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. Oh, okay. When all is well with the world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of ether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry out to their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon toward which a primal's essence is irresistibly drawn. It is this coming together, or etheric coalescence, which grants the being's physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. But the primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence as their adherents really give, and in order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, a process which you yourself were subjected. Yet even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remain unaffected. This is thanks to the power you possess, the Echo. We not know the why of it, but those blessed with the Echo are immune to primal influence. It is though a great power protects us. When you first came to us, I told you that the Echo would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. The recent incidents all share a common trait, meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, and my presenting feelings is one of relief at your safe return. The immortal flame assured me that they will deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourself with that. We may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite, Zayo. You may sure it won't last long. Once the people learn the identity of the hero who felled Ifrit, I fear you will have nary a moment to yourself. Whether she intended to or no, Minfilia neglected to tell you something. Something I think it would be best you heard from one of us. It concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I'm sorry to report that all are to be put to death. The flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. Oh. I swear to you that we do not do this if there were any other recourse. But once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends strength to the primal whom he cannot choose but worship. And so we Scions continue our fight, that no more innocents need be sacrificed. I hope that you'll continue to stand with us, Io. Oh. But I should be going. I must offer my apologies to the Flame General for the losses his people suffered. Till next time. Oh. And there he goes. So do they all have echo powers? No, it was just her and that lady. Gods forgive me. How many more lives? Louis Swole, I don't know. Louis Swole would never have allowed this to happen. They said his name last time. I have to do better. I have to be stronger. Bye, Thancred. Maybe the scar, the tattoos on his neck protect him from the temper stuff, from the primals. Who knows? Oh, okay, another one. Philly is wearing a wry smile. Might it have something to do with your newfound fame? Until not so very long ago, you were but one of the many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorzea. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter you traveled around aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Thancred that the Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the primal Ifrit. Do we get to beat up Shiva and Quetzalcoatl and the rest of them? You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in so doing. Also, alas, fame does not come without a price, as you will soon discover. We have guests, Isle. Or rather, you have guests. Oh. Beg pardons. Hey, it's the peeps from every single nation. From Salosa, Gardania, Oldalotally, Fly Officer. Ah, Lady Minfilia. Or Serpent Officer. I am given to understand that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently. I am here on behalf of the Maelstrom, Grand Company of Limsa Lominsa, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. Oh. Have garnered you the attentions of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have Ifrit's bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers. Woohoo! Oh, look, the little, the Lalafell chick, whatever her name is. They would not ordinarily go to such lengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I find myself wondering how word of Silas' deed spread so quickly, that the immortal flame should know his triumph is to be expected. But what of the other grand companies? Eep! Your reputation precedes you, Master Addis. 'Tis no ordinary man who can face a primal and emerge the victor. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of a valiant man such as you. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the Twelveswood. What pleasure just to finally meet you, Master Addis. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. Why, even before you aided us against the Almaja and their dead primal, yours was already a respected name in Ulta. Our people know you and love you well. A man of your talent belongs with the immortal flames. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us secure a prosperous future for Ulda. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you have the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. It is only natural that we should want you for the maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let us see the grand vessel of Limsa to shores of glory. I don't know what to pick. But, oh look, they have their own little, each of them got their own little salutes. Lady Minfilia. Very well. Though I'm quite sure you need no need reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation will help to clarify your thoughts on this matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently 3 such organizations in Eorzea: the Maelstrom of Limsa, the Order of the Twin Adder of Godania, and the Immortal Flames of Ulda. Serving a Grand Company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished various rewards, some of which may prove useful to you in your other endeavors. If you're agonizing over which of the Grand Companies best deserve your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, you are entitled to do so. And yet, I concede that it is no small choice you face. I can pick whatever company I want. Dee-dee-da-da. The thought occurs to me. You will of course recall that the 3 city-states are planning to hold remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I am given to understand that the leader of each Grand Company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? Yes, ma'am. A fine suggestion. You are as wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well, let Zio hear our leader speak, then return here with his decision. Huzzah! We eagerly await your answer. Hello. I know full well that the adventurers are by their nature a liberty-loving breed, and not best suited to the discipline of military service, but strongly urge you to join a Grand Company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, Zio, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet know that great power is wont to attract mention, not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet, however vigilant you are but one man. In the midst of a Grand Company, however, you'll be one man amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean living another. I hope that we can continue to rely upon your aid. The 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. The Grand Companies seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect that you will be afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch regardless of location. Ooh, it's a cell phone. Eorzea is changing, Zio, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say what the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now, it is time for you. It's time you made ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tataru. She will apprise you as to where and when the remembrance services are due to take place. What we gonna pick? I don't know what to pick. I'm probably just gonna pick the town that we're from. With the power you possess, there will be those who and you must. Okay. Yeah, got it. Hero in the making. Oh, okay. Nope. Bye. Okay. The elder seed seer speaks only truth, and her words have the power to touch the soul. At the sound of her voice, all fall silent and tender. Oh, okay. Huzzah! The Flame General is a passionate man, and his words never fail to light a fire in the belly of those who listen. I am sure you'll be no exception. Oh. Yeah. When the Ambrose speaks, even pirates listen. That is no small thing. She is a born leader. The kind one would gladly follow to the seventh hell. I gotta talk to Tataru. To Vesper Day in Western Thailand. The Nala Danaland. Yay! Alright, Totoro, let's go. Oh, I'm sorry about all the attention you're getting, Xyle. I might have sung your praises a little too loudly, and often, to a few too many people. Ahem. Next time, I'll be sure to hold my tongue. Literally, if necessary. Anyway... Anyway, I expect you to know where and when the remembrance services are taking place. If all goes to plan, Cardania's Grand Company, the Order of the Twin Adder, will hold the first of 3 services. The Elder Seer, this district, Kane Sena, will deliver her address at Miketo's Amphitheater. Okay, I should probably mention at this point that due to the organizational challenges involved in assembling all of the involved parties, it's possible that the order of the services may change. Still, there's not much we can do about that, so make Goriana your first port of call. Next, you need to go to Oldal, where Flame General Robin Alden will be addressing the masses at the world. Those people. Promenade. Oh, and it's rumored this to be a special guest. How exciting! Last but not least, you must make your way to the stateroom in Limsa Lominsa, where Maelstrom Chief Admiral this lady, Blosowin, will be giving her address. The room is accessible via the Admiral's lift. Identify yourself to the sentry, Zenthale, and you got all that. Well, if you go then, I hope you find the Remembrance services suitably educational. I suggest visiting the city-state in my prescribed order, though with your record of impeccable timing and luck, the schedule may change in favor of your preferred travel plans. Farewell! Big boy. Okay, so... Gdadia, okay. What's the cheapest? You could just go anywhere. So let's go to Limsa Lominsa. Oh, I have to go there. Huh. Oh. Gudania. There's probably a lot of people in there. Oh, okay, here we go. What is this quest? I don't know. Oh, it's probably to get, probably to be like a one of those classes, like a botanist or something. Okay, loading times are long. Nope. Over here. Oh, so is that a little E-freight? Probably. I'm kinda glad I just left the pets' names on. Aww. Can you... Oh yeah, what is that? Arms length? I love it. Little. Ooh. Ooh. There's like a bug up here. Nope. Okay. To be honest, I could probably fit it there. Where's the amphitheater? I just passed it. It's right there. Okay. Stop, stop. Let's go to the... Yeah. I think it's under, right? It's definitely it's under roll. Okay. Oh, I just wasted it. Okay. That one. That way... Oh, god, take a minute. Alright, so that's that there, and then I'm gonna need to no. Iron will put this put that there. Yeah, okay. Perfect. We're never going to use Iron Well unless just the beginning of dungeons and whatnot.
I lost my son to the calamity.
Look, the Seedseers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body.
She looks like Renoa. Seats here.
Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelveswood. Fearful of the green wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest.
I'm just gonna take off the mic for a bit.
Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seedseer. The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hyur and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat. "5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Cartano. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk the high roads without fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder's standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity. We must think of the children!
Woods will be done!
It's up to us to protect the forest!
For the elementals!
If you'll permit me, Alfie no. And my sister, Alize, at your service. I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler. You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
Okay, now they stop talking. The Gridanians are unfortunate enough to have to contend with two beast tribes. The Ixal are unquestionably the more troublesome, being of a naturally warlike disposition and wont to summon their bloodthirsty primal, Garuda. The Sylphs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and they have long been on friendly terms with the Gridanians, until recently, at least. Alas, they have grown aloof, and change observed at roughly the time they summoned the primal Rama, the little lightning guy. The Gridanians have no love for war, and they consider open conflict a last resort. Though they clash with the Ixal ever more regularly, you may be assured that they do so in self-defense. As for the Sylphs, they are as yet bound by a peace treaty, though one wonders how long it will be before it is broken. The Twelveswood was grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving Gridania vulnerable to attack. The people are hoping that restoring the wood, and thereby the power of the elementals, will put an end to their woes. Yet how long will that last? Centuries, I wager. Meanwhile, the Ixal will continue their incursions, spurred on by Garuda and their insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gridanians like it or not, sooner or later it will come to an all-out war, and when it does, the Order of the Twin Adder will need all the help it can muster. How valuable might the aid of a capable adventurer prove to them then? Ho ho! There they go. Little elf kids. Alpha no, Alpha new. And the other one. Yay! Okay, now we're gonna go to. We're just gonna go to one solo, so I don't think it matters which way we go. Right? Hope so. Was I supposed to talk to a Daniel? Something? Maybe Fuzumi? Hello? Look! This dude finally spawned in. Yes, yeah. Here time the Roman servants, be quick. The admiral was too good job. Yes. Okay.
The Galleons are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride. "700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say. The crimson field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the black longship represents a pirate vessel.
When the Gallian Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom standard, and our grand company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners, and together we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartano. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa. I swear to you no army ever fought harder or with more courage, yet many of ours did not survive. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom. Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishback
The Sahagin have risen?
While the mines of Ogomoro spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now the Curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the Calamity has reopened twixt Pirate and Maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men. To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard, and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves, till sea swallows all!
Long live the Admiral!
Admiral Mervyn!
Gather the lads!
Oh, where's me cutlass?
I'll follow ye to the seven hells, Admiral!
Fancy meeting you again.
told? 'Tis the Sultana Nanimo herself!
And Roban as well!
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore.
Hurrah! Roban!
Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ul dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold. Where by the grace and glory of Naldal have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Ul'dah!
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests. If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death. Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Ul'dah stands to fall. Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you. Line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah. As Ul'dah prospers, so shall her people.
Yeah, for Ul'dah!
Together we are one.
Your Grace.
Raoban? People of Ul'dah, I, Nanimo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Ul'dah. Yet those who measured that wealth in Coins and carrots are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Uldar lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Uldar, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune, stride fearless into the Inferno, for we are, by fire, reborn! Forsooth!
The time is now!
I fancy meeting you again.
The gods only know what grand company our adventurer friend will keep. The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies. As though the Calamity and Seventh Umbral Era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None. I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the Calamity? No, dear Alisaie, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them. Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the Calamity behind us.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience. There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I mean to find it.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
My lady!
We are to escort you!
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister, and will prevail together or not at all. The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent old ones from opening anew.